Hey everybody, welcome into Siren Records Monterey, and it is Fresh Catch Friday, and Cass is not here, but I'm here. Cass and I, we have to stay distance apart from each other, and well, there's nobody here, so I just thought I would still tell you about some new releases because we have them, and like I said, you can't come in the store and buy them, but if you can buy them online, or you can maybe find somewhere to stream them. I just thought I'd let you know some stuff that came out, okay? First of all, I want to let you in on my pick of the week this week, which would be this Waxahachie St. Cloud. This is on Merge Records. Okay, so this is written immediately after her decision to get sober, her being Katie Crutchfield. She's the one that heads up Waxahachie. And this is, really an album of self-examination. It's very raw and exposed in nature. It's a shift of sonic arrangements as well. Her last two records featured kind of big guitars and like noise and battering sounds, and that it kind of characterized her in the Philadelphia scene pretty strong and really influenced by burgeoning new class of singer-songwriters. This strips back everything and creates a space for her voice and her lyrics. And it's a really like classic Americana sound with these modern touches of like storytelling, that are pretty cool. So, it just gives way to a more of a sonic palette than her previous records. I say her, there is a band, but it's pretty much Katie's band, I would say. It's a record that's really got nods to country folk inspired tones and very modern touches. But anyway, this is on Coke bottle vinyl. It has a poster included, and it is $20.95. So this is, again, Waxahachie St. Cloud. Great, great stuff. Now, if Cass were here, I'm just going to go out on a limb and kind of guess that maybe he would have picked this Amon Düül too, and this is Yeti. This is a gorgeous limited edition deluxe vinyl reissue from one of the most groundbreaking rock bands of all time. This is a 1972 LP masterpiece, and it is the most well-known and best-loved Amon Düül 2 album of all time. It's been digitally remastered. It's pressed onto rainbow splatter vinyl and packaged in a glue-on chipboard gatefold jacket. This is 2 LPs. It's expensive. It's $45.95. But I think that Cass was real, gung-ho about getting this in. So I'm kind of thinking that's what he would have picked today. But who can say? Maybe he'll leave us a comment below. Okay, so just to get through some other stuff and let you know kind of some things that have come in. Let's just begin with 5 Seconds of Summer. They are making their debut on Interscope Records. This is the follow-up to 2018's Youngblood, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard's Top 200 chart, making the band's third consecutive #1 debut. How crazy is that? $20.95 for this one, okay? Next up we have, this is Roy Ayers' Virgin Ubiquity 2, okay? So I don't have any real big notes. I didn't get a chance to listen to this today, so just letting you know that it's here, and it's unreleased stuff, I guess, from 76 to 1981, and it's $19.95. All right. And now this, I love this too. This one I would have featured for you if we were doing a regular kind of a show. This is Bon Iver's Blood Bank EP. This one is the anniversary, limited edition anniversary edition. So this was originally released in 2009 by kind of hot on the heels of For Emma, and this was a new sound for Bon Iver. It was a movement away from the acoustic guitar led instrumentation, and the debut and the beginning of kind of an exploration into sounds that have kind of evolved and defined Bon Iver as time has gone by. This is the reissue is coupled with brand new live renditions of all of the EP tracks. Now, when I first heard that track Blood Bank, I just thought that song is so deep, and it has like so many different ways you could kind of interpret it. I thought, my God, if people did songwriting like that more often, wouldn't you just it's beautiful. You know, I really think that's a great song. Anyway, this is on anniversary red vinyl. I don't know what that means, how different that is from normal red vinyl. But anyway, 1995, Bon Iver, Blood Bank. Next up, this one is Cavetown. Okay, so this is Cavetown's major label debut on Sire Records, and this is recorded, produced, mixed, and mastered by Skinner himself in the bedroom of his London apartment. And this 11-song collection, it's kind of set to prove that he's not just a cornerstone of the bedroom pop community, but, you know, kind of a, you know, blazing the trail for the next generation of his genre. So this is it's an indie exclusive, it's on turquoise vinyl, it is $23.95. Okay. And next up we have Denzel Curry and Kenny Beats. This is, let me see, what's this one called? Oh, sorry guys, it's called Unlocked. Okay, so it starts off, you know, it's kind of a real menacing, concise, full length, produced entirely by Kenny Beats. It's a product of a manic 3-day session in the studio that had him recording an episode of Kenny's YouTube show, The Cave. So it finds the two of these guys mining sounds outside of what prompted their respective rises into recent years. And Denzel pulls influence from various members of like the Wu-Tang Clan, and Kenny taps into a sound inspired by Madlib, Dilla, and MF Doom, that kind of stuff. So these are classic influences. Unlocked, it sounds like something completely new, and it sees Denzel setting the tone for, you know, in this new decade, you know, as he kind of did at the onset of the 2010s, I guess you want to say. $17.95. We also have the cassette for $7.99. Probably thinking Cass would have a lot to say about that one as well. Okay, this is Chelsea Cutter, and this is How to Be Human. And I didn't get a chance to hear this today, so again, I don't have information for you about that. I can tell you that it's a gatefold, it's $24.95, and I'm just not sure, guys. I don't know about that one. Next up, I've got Miles Davis, a tribute to Jack Johnson, and this album was conceived by Miles Davis, you know, to be a companion for Bill Caton's documentary of the same name. And this is, of course, not the surfer music guy Jack Johnson. They're talking about the boxer Jack Johnson. And this is like it's only 2 tracks on this record, but they're both like 25 minutes plus. And they're produced from recordings made in February and April of 1970 at the 30th Street Studio in New York City. Miles was inspired by political and racial subtext of Johnson's saga, as well as hard rock and funk sounds of his own era. And it's let's see, there's a real inspired lineup of musicians on this too. It's got John McLaughlin on guitar, Sonny Sharrock, keyboardist Herbie Hancock is on here, Chick Corea, clarinetist Bernie Maupin, and drummers Jack DeJohnette and Billy Cobham. And this is 140-gram vinyl. It's $23.95. All right, next up we have Miles Davis. This one is a reissue of Bitches Brew, and I guess this has not been available on vinyl in the States. It's always been like through the EU. So, you know, it's the same, you know, beautiful album here. This is 140-gram 2 LPs, $28.95. So yeah, finally available here in the States. Like, you know, made and pressed here in the States. Okay, hasn't been available for a while. Now we have The Prisoner, Herbie Hancock. Hope you guys are seeing these covers okay. Sorry about the glare. Released originally in 1969, The Prisoner is a powerful but really overlooked masterpiece of Herbie Hancock. It's a moving tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King just Dr. Martin Luther King. Yes. And it's a session that features some of the most exceptional instrumentalists in jazz, including Joe Henderson, Johnny Coles, and more. Hancock said of The Prisoner, "I've been able to get closer to the real me with this album, more than on any previous one." So that's pretty cool. This is also part of the Tone Poet series that features all analog remastered 180-gram vinyl in deluxe gatefold packaging, $27.95. Do I have that okay so you can see it there? Okay. Okay, next up, this is Jimi Hendrix Band of Gypsies. This is the, 50th anniversary, first ever U.S. release of 2010 remaster 180 gram audiophile black vinyl. Okay, so this is hailed as a touchstone of blues, funk, and rock, and it's remastered. It was captured on tape during the two spectacular 1970 Fillmore East performances featuring Jimi Hendrix, Billy Cox, and Buddy Miles. Band of Gypsies presents 6 of the most heralded live recordings in rock history, including classics like Machine Gun, Who Knows, and We Gotta Live Together. It's available here, okay, first time in the US. Includes an 8-page booklet and a reprint of the classic Capitol Records poster. This is $24.95. All right, next up we have, this is Magic Sword, Endless. Now, I'm guessing, from what I can gather, this is a musical aesthetic that has its roots buried in the golden era of 70s and 80s fantasy and sci-fi. Its followers are called to another plane of existence where struggle between light and shadow become too real. Like, this is like the third in his trilogy. I guess you got to be into this to know what it's all about. It's the third and final chapter, okay, in the tale of the search for the chosen one. So I guess if you know and you're into it, you already know what this is all about. It's what they're calling Empress Blue vinyl. I don't really know what makes it Empress Blue. It's $22.95, okay? And the next round, ooh, got a few things, you know. All right, so this, okay, I'm gonna butcher this because these guys are from Belarus, and I don't really speak Belarusian, so I don't know if I can say this properly. But anyway, this is from Sacred Bones, and it's Molchat Doma. This one, it's their debut album, and I'm not even sure I can say this, guys. It is called S. Krish Nashik Domov. Okay, that's the best I can do. It was released in 2017, and it announced like a bold and new voice in underground music. The album found a real passionate audience on Bandcamp and other streaming services. It was released on CD and cassette, but now Sacred Bones is very proud to present this album on vinyl for the first time. It's on clear vinyl. It's $19.95. All right, next up for them, this one, it's the second LP by their trio, and again, it's Molchat Doma. This record is pronounced Etazi, and that means floors, I guess. Okay, that's what it looks like. And it became a viral hit, also garnering over 1 million views on YouTube and becoming a legitimate phenomenon on Bandcamp. The band may kind of fly under the radar in their native Belarus, but they've reached huge audiences across Europe and beyond. So 6 separate vinyl pressings of the album have sold out in quick succession, and Sacred Bones is now thrilled to bring the record back in print for good. $19.95 clear vinyl, okay? Next up, this one. Okay, this is through Jaguar, and this is, they're called Nap Eyes, and this is called Snapshot of a Beginner. And this is like 8 years and 4 albums into it. This is their boldest, most concentrated, and most hi-fi album to date. I guess most of the songs are whittled into their final form. The guy normally just does these free-form 20-minute voice and guitar free writing sessions, so they have to edit down from that. But I guess every member, the drummer, the bassist, or the guitarist, they all each play a very crucial role in the song development of composing around idiosyncratic structures and directing the overall sound and feel of the songs. So until now, they've kind of mostly done that live in a room, but for this one, they went into the National's legendary upstate New York Long Pond studio, and so anyway, you'll find this one much more accessible, I am guessing. So I mean, I listened to it, and you know, I thought it was pretty good. I usually do like stuff on Jaguar. Their artists that they sign usually do kind of appeal to me. But anyway, hope you like this. Check them out. It's on Coke Bottle Vinyl. It's $19.95. All right, and now up we have the Orb, and this is Abolition of Royal Familia. It's the 16th studio album by this English ambient house duo, The Orb, and it's on Cooking Vinyl. And it includes contributions from Youth, Roger Eno, David Harrow, and Steve Hillage, Steve Hillage, sorry, and Miquette Girardi from System 7. It's on colored vinyl, but I don't know what color it is. I tried to look and it doesn't say. Yeah, it just says heavyweight vinyl here. Oh, I'm sorry guys, it says blue, so yay. You know, I'm struggling and I'm trying to Google this all over the place and I couldn't find the color, so it's right there on the sticker on the front. Blue colored vinyl, 2 LPs, $35.95 for The Orb. All right, next up we have, gosh, what is it, Parkway Drive? Viva the Underdogs. This is on orange vinyl. And this is an Australian metal band. It's their new album. It's a soundtrack to the band's documentary film by the same name. It features 11 tracks from the band's 2019 headlining set at German heavy metal festival Wacken Open Air. The soundtrack also includes 3 studio tracks recorded in German. This is 2 LPs, $28.95. All right, now this one I think a lot of people have been waiting for. This is Pearl Jam. And this is called Gigaton, okay, Gigaton. And it's this is their much anticipated 11th studio album. It's their first studio album since 2013. And they're saying that making this record was a long journey. It was emotionally dark and confusing times. Well, that continued long after, but also an exciting and experimental roadmap to musical redemption. Okay, 2020 officially marks 30 years of Pearl Jam performing live, and with over 85 million albums sold worldwide, and 2017 induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This is 2 LPs for $39.95, and that cover is outstanding, just beautiful. Okay, now this is John Williams, the Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. This is the soundtrack to this, and that is 2 LPs, $25.95. Okay, so John Williams. This kind of has an embossed cover too, which is pretty nice. All right, now we're coming to the roundup here finally. I know, I miscast you. So let's see here. This one is the soundtrack to Whiplash. And this is it's one of the best-selling new soundtracks of 2014, 2015. The film earned Best Picture and Best Screenplay Oscar nominations, while it won for Best Supporting Actor. This is a deluxe 2 LP set. It contains 36 tracks, including unreleased cues, outtakes, remixes, and 6 songs that were omitted from the original LP version. It's featuring all new hand-drawn artwork on the gatefold and inner sleeves, and new notes from T.S. Monk, who is an esteemed jazz drummer and son of Thelonious Monk. 2 LPs, $27.95. All right, next up we have Candace Springs, Women Who Raised Me. And from the beginning, she's got these warm hand-plucked bass notes that they just kind of fill the air on this. This is a beautiful record. It's something different. Well, 2018, she came out with Indigo. Wait a minute. Yeah, Indigo was the name of that record. And it was, she's a Nashville singer, pianist, and she likes to bend new forms, in her music. She doesn't stay the same way. It's very different from Indigo. She travels across a century of music, covering the women who inspired her while she was growing up, putting her own spin on songs associated with a dozen of the greatest female vocalists of all time. So it's a really, you got to have a pretty big voice to be able to do that. And so she can pull it off too. This is a really great record. $19.95 for this one. So check her out if you're just looking for something new to vibe to. All right, now there's some Cat Stevens reissues here. This one is called Matthew and Son. This is actually the debut album by Cat Stevens. It was originally released in 1967, reached number 7 on the UK charts. The hit track, Here Comes My Baby, was initially recorded and released by the Tremolos. This also features tracks like I Found a Love and I'm Gonna Get Me a Gun. This is 180 gram, $24.95. And also there is, let's see, this one is called New Masters, and it's a 180 gram audiophile vinyl reissue, restored original artwork, remastered from the original Durham Masters. I don't know what that means, Durham Masters. Maybe you guys do. Okay, so this one here, oh, Durham is, I guess, the label that it was on at that time. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, so that's available too. And this one is 180 gram as well. And that one's $24.95. New Masters. All right, now we got Sufjan Stevens and Lowell Brahms. This is called Aporia. And this one is, it's a new age album from Sufjan Stevens and his stepfather and record label co-owner Lowell Brahms. And it's like moody and hooky, gauzy synthesizer stuff, real soundscapes that I created collaboratively in the spirit of new age composers, you know, and just kind of sanded off the edges of their synths. Sawtooth. Aporia is not a mere curio in the Sufjan Stevens catalog, but a fully realized collaborative musical piece. This is on yellow vinyl, and it's $19.95. All right, next up we have Donna Summer. She works hard for the money. The Queen of Disco at her finest. This one time pressing only of 1,000 units worldwide. Yellow vinyl, $25.95. Now we've got Swamp Dogg, and this is called Sorry You Couldn't Make It. And it's the long-awaited country album from this legendary guy, Swamp Dogg. It's recorded in Nashville. It features John Prine, Justin Vernon of Bon Iver, and Jenny Lewis, who I love, and others. It's examining grief from a greater distance while savoring life's sweetness. And you know he loves his horns, but his country is really coming through on this one. So it's green vinyl plus a 7-inch. It's $23.95. Next up is James Taylor, Greatest Hits. This is, you know, the first compilation album by the American singer-songwriter. It was originally released in 1976. It's a best-selling album of his career and one of the best-selling albums of all time. It sold over 11 million copies. It features redone versions of Carolina in My Mind and Something in the Way She Moves, both of which had been previously included on his self-titled debut album in 1968. This release continues a brand new remaster of the live album, the classic album, with remastering process being overseen by Peter Asher, who was like, you know, big time producer guy in the 70s for people like, I want to say like Linda Ronstadt and the Eagles and Jackson Browne, that kind of ilk, you know? So when I say the process is being overseen by him, I'm trying to remember. I know Peter Asher, I think he started his career as like in Peter and Gordon, like earlier in the 60s, but he ended up, maybe he was their manager. Maybe he managed these people, not produced them. You have to go and Google that because I can't really remember. $22.95 for James Taylor's Greatest Hits, okay? Then we got Tesla. This is 5-man London Jam, 2 LPs. I guess Tesla visited the iconic Abbey Road studios for a one-night musical event, performing songs from their arsenal, including Love Song and What You Give, along with classic covers of Signs and We Can Work It Out. And additionally, for the first time ever, the band performed the track California Love Song from their latest studio album, Shock. The performance was recorded and filmed in 4K HD, bringing forth Tesla's upcoming live album, 5-man London Jam. Okay, this is on Coke bottle vinyl plus a poster, and it's $20.95. All right, so then that kind of wraps it up for what we got in this week. Hopefully, you know, just keep your fingers crossed that things are going to get back to normal soon, and we can get Cass back in here to do this. It's not fun doing this by yourself, especially in an empty room. So anyway, everybody hang in there. Things are, you know, definitely going to be okay. So I hope you're all, keeping yourselves entertained, listening to all your vinyl at home, and hopefully you'll want something new to break the monotony, and hopefully, best case scenario, hopefully just things will get so much better, and we're just going to be back to normal. living our lives and being grateful for it. So thanks for tuning in. Again, I know you're all missing Cass, and I am too, but we'll try to get him back as soon as we can. So until next time, thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Bye.